All right. Well, good morning. Greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today, Tuesday, just a couple days before the 4th of July, Alliance Talk Live Morning Show edition. And we've got a bit of a question for everybody watching out there today. The main topic of today's show, as you can tell from probably the thumbnail within, is can you name who this person is? We're going to ask you, the fans, the fan base, who is the most important Detroit Lion outside of, say, Jared Goff or any quarterback on the team? It's, I think, a fair debate to have as we are closing in on training camp just weeks away. You've got a lot of talent growing on this young team, and we all know this team is a team of promise, a team of destiny, a team of, what do you want to say, a team that's aiming for the Super Bowl and Super Bowl or bust or whatever you got in between. Hey, we're going to ask the question. It'll be interesting to see what everybody has to say about it. I'll throw out my thought or idea on who that person is, but let's see what you guys have to say. If you're new to the channel, I got a couple things for you. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We are quickly closing in on 6,800. In fact, I think we're like 10 subs away. So if you could just take a moment of time, if you haven't subbed, and hit that subscribe button, that'd be great. Also, while you're watching, it's free of charge. I promise it won't cost you a penny. Hit the thumbs up button. You know, it takes a half second to hit the button, and we try to get each video to somewhere between 200 to 300 thumbs up. So if you can help out with that, that'd be great. Last but not least, just because I'm a working individual, if you are considering buying or selling property anywhere in the state of Michigan, give me a call or shoot me a text. You see the number on the screen, 269-998-2384. Let's see what we can do to have over 30 years of experience in the industry work for your behalf. So yesterday closed was it 3 new deals for clients, got them all some great prices on their new property, vacant land, and then 2 different condos sold. We're able to save them a lot of money and put them through a whole lot less hassle. So if you're looking for someone who's going to work for your behest, give me a call or shoot me a text. Again, you see the number on the screen, 269-998-2384. All right, with that out of the way, as if you don't know, we get into 5 non-main topic headlines to start the show. So real quick, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into 5 headlines now. You know, it is kind of a nice little upbeat song you got there to start things off. All right, so you're going to see some recurring themes in today's 5 headlines now. So let's get it started. Detroit Lions training camp preview and 53-man roster prediction at quarterback amongst the rest of the team. And that is from the Sporting News. So as we all get it, hey, you're just a couple weeks away from rookies reporting, then veterans a couple days after that. You're going to see more and more national media correspondents go ahead and put out their 53-man predictions and other things leading into training camp. So go ahead and check out the Sporting News if you get time today or tomorrow, maybe over the 4th of July. You just want to see what everybody else is predicting. There you go. If you want to know what I predicted for Lions Talk Live, go back to it. I think we put it out last week, and you will be able to check that out, maybe do some comparisons. All right, Detroit really felt like home. Jake Bates felt strong support regarding why he selected the Detroit Lions, and that's from Sports Illustrated. It's a brief read, probably about 2 minutes or so, but check it on out. Hey, we all get it. He had a lot of people trying to sign him. Ultimately, it sounds like it came down to 3 teams really at the top. The Green Bay Packers, the Detroit Lions, and the Texans. And could have been that, hey, he was just more familiar with Ford Field, felt like playing indoors over Green Bay being outdoors were a contributing factor. Did he maybe not think he had a real strong chance to get it with the Texans? I don't know. That I can only speculate on. But if you want to get a little bit more insight on why Jake Bates went with the Detroit Lions, there you go. Check it out. All right, next on the topic is why Lions have more duality on 3rd down than any NFL team. That's also from Sports Illustrated. Just goes into a lot of the metrics as they explain in this particular story. Hey, the diversity of talent they have, especially on offense, and how that contributes to Dan Campbell's or deciding to go for it and do different things the 3rd and 4th down. There's a lot of Ben Johnson's play calling. So go ahead and check that out. Again, if you got a little time over the week, hey, these are some decent reads. You saw Micro Mike talk about this yesterday. I'm sure there were other YouTubers that put this out there, but Darius Slay criticized Detroit Lions fans for treatment of Matthew Stafford in the playoffs. And this was reported by multiple different sources, so I didn't want to give credit just one over others. But Darius Slay, hey, he goes on in the article and states how much he loved being in Detroit, how much he loved the fans, loved the town, played with Stafford for 7 years. I believe that's correct. He goes into all those metrics, and he just thought that it was not ideal for the fans to come out and boo him when he came out there. The only thing I would say from a personal level is, hey, when you're here, you're the hero. When you're asked to get traded, now go play for the team that has the potential to continue your playoff losing streak. I think most fans are going to say, hey, you were a Lion and a great one, but you're not here now, so now you're the enemy. So I think that's where Darius Slay maybe, I get his intentions with these comments, but I also think you have to take a step back and say, hey, at this point, the fans are worried about the Detroit Lions. They're not worried about a former quarterback. All right, and I promised some similarities in some of these headlines. Dave Burkett yesterday also put out his 53-man roster prediction. Hooker or Sudfeld for backup quarterback, and that is, of course, from the Detroit Free Press. Check it on out. See if you want to compare notes. My anticipation is over the next few weeks, you're going to have a lot more of these predictions come out, a lot more debates on, hey, here's the position battle, and breakdown videos. You're going to have YouTubers do it, or beat reporters and writers go ahead and do that. So there are your 5 headlines. Now, if you got some other ones, go ahead and let me know in the comments section. Now, let's go ahead and get on to the main topic of the day. I do need to diversify the music a little bit more, but it is what it is. All right. So we've been talking about with today's topic, who is the most important player, not named Jared Goff, or we'll just say a quarterback in Detroit. And here's what I came up. I came up with a few. I want to see what you guys have to say, because ultimately this is going to be a big debate. Who is the most vital person to this 53-man roster for the success of the team, not just for the season, but for the future on this team? And I'm going to throw out some names in the comments section. You guys let me know, and then obviously we'll get over to the comments section and see what your thoughts are, if you agree or disagree. So let's start on offense. How about Penei Sewell? Is he your most important player? How about, Amon-Ra St. Brown? Could it be Gibbs? Maybe. Taylor Decker, although I think Decker might be a little bit of a push there. Maybe Frank Ragnow. Let's be honest. You got to have somebody to hike and block real quick, or a lot of passing plays and running plays don't look so good. So those are probably some of my suggestions. Sam Laporta, I think I might have already said him, though. Those are my suggestions on offense. Now, on defense, man, that's where I think it gets dicey. Could it be Aiden Hutchinson? Could it be DJ Reader? Could it be Derek Barnes or Jack Campbell? I mean, that's something for you guys to debate. And then in the secondary, my anticipation would be it'd have to be either Carlton Davis, maybe Terrion Arnold. I don't know. I don't know if there's really an easy answer, but it is a great question. This team is so deep, so talented across the board. It would at least appear going into the season that there are some real strong players on this team. Are any of them going to be as important as a quarterback position? I think it's fair to say that's probably not the case, because quarterback position, as we all know, is the most important position on any NFL team. But I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. No wrong answers, no right answers, but let's see what kind of thoughts you guys have as we head on over to the comment section. All right, let's get this one going. See what you guys have to say. All right, Michael, greetings and salutations, Duke Crew, ! Super Bowl or bust, one pride. Woo, woo. And good morning to you too, Michael. Also, before I forget, almost did, the bottom of the hour at 7:30, Kurt, the Hitman Steele, will be joining us, debate this very topic, and maybe he'll have a little bit more information on his new show that debuts today, right after Lions Talk Live. So 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you get bored, you got nothing else to do with your day, after this one shuts down, after today's episode of Lions Talk Live comes to a close, you might want to step on over and see what Kurt and the gang have to say. So food for your thoughts. JDC, good morning all. Morning to you too. Hopefully having a great one there, JDC. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. I can name that tune. I see Super Bowl. Woo! And I agree. The Super Bowl is the goal this year. 100%. So, all right. Let's see. Mike the Marine. Howdy, Dan. Lions Fable. Do or die season. Woo! And yes, it is all roads lead to the Superdome this year. Let's see. Drake. Haven't seen you in a minute. Drake, what do you got? The greetings and salutations. I would say the most important is Sewell. All right. Penei Sewell. have to keep that offense going at a high level. That won't happen without good blocking. No, and you see it in all of the different rankings, whether you go by the NFL, just, hey, top 100 players, top 25 under 25. Penei Sewell is considered a monster pick. And while the Lions, could they have gotten somebody else in that draft? Absolutely. But I think most people would say they took the best long-term prospect. Not only a generational talent on the offensive line, but one that when he was drafted was only 19 years old. And you know what? He's going to be playing for the Lions and at a high level for a long time to come. So I think you're pretty spot on with that there, Drake. Clark, good morning, all. Let's go with Hutchinson. Maybe it changes this year, but he carries a lot of the defense on his shoulders. I'd say, yeah, his first 2 years, he's put a lot on his back and said, hey, follow me to the promised land. It's hard to say who is the best non-quarterback player, but Hutchinson, yes, Clark, I think would definitely be in that conversation. Matthew Green, salutations. Good morning, everyone. Super Dome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. And good morning to you too, Michael. Hopefully you're having a great one. All the above, 100%. All right, let's see. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. I can't wait for training camp to get here. Who all is going to the Rams game? Question mark. Tailgate time. You know, hey, if you guys want to orchestrate a Rams game or opening game of the season setup, then go ahead and do just that. Go ahead and get that going. Tailgate away and see what you guys can do to orchestrate it. I'd say Matthew survived another day. Exclamation point. Chemo pump comes off Wednesday. Congrats on that, man. 3 days of hell. Thanks for all the wishes and prayers, everyone. Yeah, 100%, man. Hopefully you're doing much, much better. Hopefully it's going well for you. And, yeah, that there's no setbacks or issues. Hopefully you can just get through this thing and go ahead and heal up and get better. So thoughts and prayers with you, Matthew. All right, Jesse, good morning, all. Coach, I'm going to say outside of Goff, I'll go with Holmes for a person important to the team. That's fair to say. If I had to say another player, then St. Brown. Okay. Yeah, St. Brown, because of what he does, the defensive coverages, what he does, the different schemes, how he alters the offense, I'd say that's probably a pretty sound pick. He goes down, yeah, that would have a massive impact for the Detroit Lions offense. Doesn't mean he's irreplaceable. Doesn't mean any player isn't irreplaceable. But his impact, if not on the field, would be felt significantly. All right, Patrick Green, salutations all. For the most important non-quarterback player would have to be a toss-up between St. Brown, Gibbs, or the O-line in general. Yeah, I'd say you're pretty spot on with that, Patrick. The offensive line, let's face it, whoever the quarterback's going to be, you've got to give them time to throw and you got to give them time to read. The running game, you got to get them open. The passing game, outside the quarterback, you got to allow guys to get open and run their routes effectively without immediate pressure up the middle on the quarterback. So all of them would be great picks there, Patrick. Hey, man, good morning, Dan and the Dew. Woo! I was able to make it back to a show this morning. Well, it has been a minute. I do love the thumbnail, man. And, yeah, good to have you back in the chat there, Hatman. So good to see you. Jess, Matthew Grace, you got this 100%. Yeah, thoughts and prayers, and you got this, man. Do what you got to do to get through the next couple days, and hopefully that gets you, to the promised land. All right, see, Mike the Marine Gunny, we're with you, Matt Grace. Yes, 100%. Everybody's with you and supporting you. All right, Moonscar, hey, crew, exclamation point. Woo! Coffee is tasty this morning. Most important non-quarterback, that's a tough one. It is, man, because you could go in so many different directions. You could say, hey, it's this person, it's that person, it's this position, it's that position. End of the day, man, you get past the quarterback, that's where you really have to try to digest what's going on. Have teams done it in the past where, hey, they go ahead and survive a quarterback going down with injury or whatever? Yes, they do. But I can also say, man, you really got to get everybody else to contribute at a high level when that happens. So, all right, moving on to the next one. So, hold on a second. Got a problem scrolling through the screen, trying to get back to the top there. All right, there we go. All right, good evening, Duke Crew. The most important non-quarterback, let's go with Sam Laporta. Controls a lot of the field and helps in the running game. Yep, that'd be fair to say because he does a lot of the blocking. Just helps with the offense offense setup, other things, either passing or run blocking, like I said. So Laporta and any tight end would be pretty high on the list, I would suspect. All right, Frank the Tank is my non-quarterback pick. There you go. Frank Ragnow, there we'll go with that. Frank the Tank Ragnow. That's probably a sound pick there, JDC. Good call on that one. See, Just AK, good morning. I will second Ragnow. Okay, yeah, Ragnow is going to be probably a pretty good popular pick. See, Pierce, mine is Sewell, Frank, Hutch, and or St. Brown. All of them good ones. All of them high-impact players. Or can I pick the entire offensive line? Boy, you can Scooby-Doo this however you want. Pick as you desire, as you wish. Go with it, and just whatever one works best for you, go with that one. See, Matthew, most important player or players that are non-quarterbacks. Hutch, number 1. St. Brown is number 2. Anselo, number 3. Quarterback on defense. I like what you're doing there, Matt. Number 4, Sewell, leader of the offensive line. Laporta, number 5. Number 1, safety plug. Yes. Blocks, red zone, always open. Yes, I would say all of them. And I think that's the tough part about the question. There really is no one right answer. There's no one wrong answer. There's just, hey, these guys can play. What can you do to get them open? What can you do to help them, help the team? All of the above. And I think they're going to do a real good job. If the situation ever arose where Goff went down, which hopefully it doesn't, Detroit would have to really rely on these guys that you were all listing to make impacts on the team. So we'll see what shakes out, though, and hopefully, again, that the day never comes where Goff goes down. So, all right, let's see. Robert, Coach, I have had direct communication with Jason confirming the live stream on the Tree of Destiny. It should be symbolic. There we go. Yeah, Jason, when he busts out the Tree of Destiny, we'll have to get the Towel of Fate and do a live show showing the Tree of Destiny being resurrected for the upcoming season. Hatman, I would have to say Frank, Sewell, St. Brown, and Laporta. Laporta because he also does a lot of the dirty work. Yeah, tight end position, a lot of the blocking. I get receivers do blocking too, but it is different with the tight end position just because the people they're typically responsible for taking on, blocking, where they are in the running game and the passing game. So you're pretty spot on with that. All right, Moonscar, the health of Decker and Ragnow is key. So I'm calling it a tie between them. Decker goes out, we can slide Sewell over. Glasgow can fill in for Rags, but who fills in adequately for them? You'd have a couple different people like, Yoda fill in. Maybe one of the rookies could possibly fill in. Scoresdale. It would be a drop-off, I'm anticipating, but it could be done, especially with the internal blocking. But we'll wait and see, and hopefully that doesn't ever happen or need to happen. Robert, oh yeah, greetings and salutations. Well, back at you, Robert. Good to see you, as always, in the chat. Let me get another ticker up there just so we don't have the same one up there all day long. All right, there we go. Let's see. Moonscar, the offense must sway like a symphony. We'll go with that. Yeah, they got to perform at a high level. I really think, especially early in the year, you're going to see the offense put up some massive points. I'm anticipating, and you guys have heard me give my score predictions earlier in the offseason. I think there's going to be a lot of games in the first, say, half of the season where we score 30, maybe even 40 points a game. I think we're going to be that good. But the other part of it is I think the defense is going to be that sound and get some takeaways. All right, Motown, Green say today's in Coach and Duke Crew, Lions rule, Bears drool. 100%. And speaking of Bears, I don't think we've seen Broski in a day or so, have we? It's been a minute. JDC, Stephanie Water, I live vicariously through the Duke Crew experiences at the tailgaters. There you go. Yeah, I think that's going to happen more and more as costs go up for attending games. But it is what it is. Those of you who are going to games, hey, go enjoy it. Make it a great time. This year, I think I've told you guys I'm going to do a lot more live broadcasts of games and in-game reporting, I guess you could say. So I enjoy it. I miss doing the play-by-play, trying to get somebody to maybe do the broadcast with me, sort of like a lead analyst and a color commentator. So if anybody out there is good at that, let me know, and maybe we can make a show out of it. Pierce, Moodscar, in that scenario, if Glasgow is in for Frank and slide Zettler over to the left, and I think the rookie we got from BC, Mahogany, that would be superb in that backup role. I would agree with that. Yeah, I think he'd probably come in there, especially in run blocking. He's already pretty sound there. I think what dropped him in the rankings or in the draft was his pass blocking, but they will have to coach him up on that. Lions fan number 1 agrees. Salutations. I'll go with St. Brown or Laporta after the quarterback spot. Things get very even, very fast. Yeah, that's probably a fair statement that, the differences from the quarterback position as far as importance and how the rest of the team is. I mean, you can survive a receiver going out. You can survive a running back, offensive line, defensive line. I mean, you get it across the team. Quarterback goes down. There's just, let's face it, there's 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL, and maybe 15 of them are impactful. The rest of them, yeah, the teams are trying to replace those guys. All right, Bo, maybe we don't slide Sewell. Instead, just insert scores down. It could be. Totally could be. 100%. Let's see. Quentin. Greetings, salutations, y'all. Got to be Sewell on the line. He is the best in the NFL. You know, there's that part of it. He is a rare player when it comes to his abilities, his strengths, his impact on the game. Yeah, Penei Sewell is, I don't think most fans realize just how good he is. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I think we don't give him enough props or respect for just how rare and talented that kid is. All right, Miles, what do you got? Good morning. I'm going out on a limb here and say whoever will end up being our field goal kicker. All right, fair enough. This player must be perfect every time, even if called upon only once in a game. Yeah, you miss field goals. That's really where you're judged as a kicker. I mean, kicking from 40, 50, 60, 70 yards, whatever, those are all great. But if you kick it and don't hit it, you don't connect on it, did the kick really matter? And that's a great question there, Miles. See, Steve, what do you got? Good morning, all. The captain is reporting. Well, good to see you, Captain America. Let's see, Rocky, good morning, all. I'm going to go with Frank the Tank Ragnow. If he goes down, offense slows down. That is also true. Ragnow is very impactful. And again, one of the NFL's best at his position. See, Bo, why not leave your strength strong? Question mark. Easier to reinforce someone on the left with extra blockers than letting Penei rule the right. All right, they could go that route, 100%, 100% indeed. Yeah, I don't think there's a wrong answer to what you do in that scenario with people getting hurt, but they trust in the coaching staff. Okay, good morning, Dan, the Duke crew. Woo! I would say St. Brown or Hutch. I'll go with that, 100%, 100%. Let's see, Moonscar, the team definitely has questions that need answers. The health of our free agent acquisitions and to what level have certain players improved to be a factor. D-line, O-line in particular. I'll go with that. Yeah. Hey, maybe we should say the training staff might be one of the most important factors on this team. They did a great job last year. They hopefully will do an equally great job in the future. See, Doug, there isn't a most important. It's most important by committee. As witness this chat, MCDC is a functioning team of kneecap biters. If we needed stars, we would have mouthy DBs like CD Deuce. Fair enough. Yeah, and CD's no longer here. Him and Bugs, probably the two guys last year that, you know, kind of the asterisk to the rule of the personality traits of everybody on the team. Yeah, it's probably not a happenstance that neither one of them are still here in with the Detroit Lions. Rich, let's go. Super Bowl or bust. Woo! To the woo! And all the above. And Rich, good morning to you too, my friend. See, Bo, I like it, Doug. There you go. Dennis, good morning, Dan the Duke crew. Back at you, Dennis. Hopefully you're having a great one. Answer 14. It has been a minute, man. I agree. Salutations, coach and Duke crew. Lions dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dominate. There you go. And that's what I think they're going to do this year. I was talking with a group of people yesterday, neighbors and stuff that are huge Lions fans. They go to the home games, etc. I mean, they're regulars there. And we're all trying to debate what the regular season record's going to be. I'm sticking with a 13-win season. I think there is possibility it could be more than that, but I think it's going to be a real strong season either way for the Detroit Lions. All right, Rich, Dan the Duke crew, good morning. Woo! And back at you, Rich. Hopefully you have an outstanding morning. See, Jason, good morning, all. Tailgate, question mark. This would be interesting. Superdome or bust. Yeah, if we want to get a tailgate going, let's talk about it. We've got maybe about a month or so to plan it. I've thrown out there for the Duke crew to consider maybe the Tampa Bay game, September 15th. But you guys let me know your thoughts. If enough people want to go and do it, we'll make it happen. Let's see. Bo Bates went with the location. Yes, I think, it could, it's just my thoughts. I think he already knew the field here. He knew the kicking conditions here. You look at the season schedule and say, man, we've got 1 or 2 games outdoors that are indoor stadiums. So that's a pretty ideal situation for a kicker. Gary, good morning, Duke crew. Back at you, Gary. Hopefully having a great morning. Doug, if anyone, it could be AG. Defense coordinator has the biggest feast to be served up, especially on Turkey Day. Finally, a beatdown. Hey, you guys heard my predictions. I think the Lions are going to beat the Bears by 30 points on Thanksgiving Day game. And there's a lot of reasons why. It's not because, hey, you got a rookie quarterback. It's not just because of that, I should say. I think there's going to be a lot of metrics in play by that point in the season. I do think the Lions will be hitting some stride. I like the setup they have going into that one. Last year when we played the Bears, it just, maybe I'm wrong with this, but at least in my mind, I want to say both times we played the Bears basically had like 2 weeks to prepare for us, or 10 days or whatever. That won't be the case this time around. I think they're both pretty good teams. I think little details will make the big difference. But I think as packed as that field's going to be, as loud and proud as it's going to be, I think it's going to be very difficult on a rookie quarterback to operate and, most importantly, make effective at the line of scrimmage adjustments. And that's where I think the Lions are going to maybe get a few turnovers and blow that thing open. Cody, what do you got? Yeah, okay. Both guys bailed on us. Why should we have loyalty to you? Hey, Slay could have used in the secondary the last couple of years, but he left. To be fair, Stafford wanted out. I get that, So yeah, get him. He wanted out. So do whatever you want, man. Talk about him as you want. Slay, on the other hand, Patricia and Bob Quinn traded him because he, clearly did not agree with Matt Patricia's thought process on how good Darius Slay was. So it's unfortunate, but I'm with you, Cody. I think Darius Slay needs to remember Stafford wanted out of Detroit. He is no longer a Detroit Lion. So, hey, you're the enemy now. Fans aren't going to say, hey, let's take it easy on you just because you used to play here. That's not how fans work. Shane, morning, fam. Back at you, Shane. Hopefully having a great one. Bo, I don't blame Slay for leaving, but he's gone. Same as Stafford. Yeah. Once they're gone, when they retire, you want to do some sort of ceremony for them. Hey, say, hey, thanks for all your time here. You had a great career. That's great. But especially in a playoff game, hey, you are the enemy, and we are going to go slam you into the field. We're going to go after everything we can to get the advantage and get that win. This isn't, some sort of moral thing where, hey, we let you win the game and then, hey, we feel good about ourselves. Nah, put them through the ground, man. Put them through the ground and move on to the next game. Sue's 007, it's nice to find men who like football and have something to do while their country. Okay, yep. All right, now on to the next one. Dennis Sewell, yes. Panay Sewell, 100%. Let's see, Cody, let's see. Once Sewell started taking more of a leader role, I'd say him. Even every game, he is giving a speech. He is, and he is very much a Detroit Lion. He loves the community, he loves the fan base, and he's, like you're pointing out, Cody, he's taking a leadership role over this team. So he'd be, my opinion, if he's not the number one choice outside of the quarterback position, he's pretty dang near the top. Yeah, not burning here, says JDC, 100%. Yeah, so I'm not sure what the burning thing is all about, but hey, to each their own. Maybe they have an ointment for that. Let's see. Broski Bear, the most important non-quarterback player on offense is St. Brown. In this past happy league, he's the only legit wide receiver on your roster. Ooh, Broski throwing some shots out there. All right, fair enough with that, Broski. I think he's definitely in the conversation. Bo, Sue, who are you? Who are you? Yes, JDC, who are you? All right, I think it's about that time to bring over the man, the myth. I wish I had the Ric Flair theme music to play for him, but you guys know him, and here he is. Joining us now, Lions Talk Live exclusive, Kurt Steele. Kurt, how you doing today?
What up, though, man? I am doing fine this morning. Excited for another chapter of my podcasting career to start the day. We did our first show yesterday, a recorded show, and thank everyone that's in the Do Crew. If you came and watched, some of the people that in the Do Crew came over and watched the show and left good comments, man. Great love, great feedback for me and my guys over there. But today, we're going live right after this show at 8 o'clock, man. So tune in, jump on over. We're going to have some fun. We're going to be interactive, have some great conversations about what's going on with our Detroit Lions.
There you go. I like it. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about the channel, the show that you got going on, who all is going to be on there? Just give us the details.
All right. So Basically, really, it's the guys from Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk that was over there on Detroit Lions in the Proud. Coach Mike Jones, my man LL Cool Torrance. We're back together again, and we're missing our guy. We got one guy that's in heaven watching us down on us, man, and being with us, Jim Bordeaux, the founder of Lions on the Prowl, who brought all of us over to the channel, and we just continued his legacy once we kept that show going on. But it ended, and now we got back together. The band's back together. We're doing a little bit different format, and it's gonna be, really interactive, kind of a take, our takes on what the headlines are, and we give our takes if we like it, if we don't like it, and why. We go a little bit in depth on what the headlines are and what the news is, and like why the takes are out there, and then we explain, like, man, I agree with that, or I don't agree with that.
Sure.
And we just have some fun. And with the audience today, you're going to get your chance to tell us if it's bossed up or balled on. So come on over at 8 o'clock, man. It's going to be live. I'm the host, my man. Now, the guys aren't there in the mornings because they, of course, have jobs. So in the mornings, it's just going to be me. Tuesdays and Thursdays for the live shows, and then Mondays and Wednesdays we have the recorded shows is going to be air at 8 o'clock. So either day, hop on over at 8 o'clock to the channel and check it out, man. It's some fun interactive shows, man. But like I said again, man, for everyone who left a comment over there on our first video, we welcome us back, and definitely it's great to be back and great to be doing Lions content again.
Okay, so we've got a bit of a question this morning. Let's get your take on it there, Kurt.
Okay, what you got?
Who is the most important Detroit Lion outside of the quarterback position, in your opinion?
Right now, on the roster right now?
Yes. It's tough.
It has to be the jersey I wore yesterday on the first show. It has to be Penei Sewell. Between him and Frank Ragnow, those guys run that offensive line. But for me, and not saying that he's so much more important than Frank Ragnow, but Penei Sewell is a tone setter on that offensive line. I know that Frank gets everyone lined up and gets the reads right and coverages, but like that offensive line, the mentality, the physicalness, the aggressiveness, a lot of that stem from the young fella coming in and setting the tone. He's a vocal leader on the team already. He was last year. And the kids still what, 21, 22, maybe 23 at the most.
Right. He's pretty young.
He's pretty young. And he's a tone setter, and he's one of those guys outside of Jared Goff that he gets the motor running for the offense.
So since there's more and more national media coming out saying that the Lions may have the NFL's best offensive line this upcoming season, do you think it's actually gotten better over last year? And if so, why?
I think for me, really, it's the addition of Zeitler going to right guard and kicking Graham over to that left guard spot where he can play next to his big homie over there with Taylor Decker, and in between him and Frank the Tank. I think the key is going to be stability and reliability on that offensive line. These guys are the guys that's playing right now. They don't get hurt a lot, and if they do, they still play. Jonah Jackson was just in and out of the lineup too much last year. He was just, and I like Jonah Jackson, and the writing was on the wall for me once he kind of in the playoffs where he went out again, and I'm like, come on, man, we can't have this playoff time. Now, I can't blame the guy for an injury because injuries happen, but reliability, the best ability is availability, and it just wasn't there with Jonah Jackson. And he, of course, everyone has flaws in their game. No one on the offensive line is perfect, but they can play perfect together. And that's what I like about that offensive line. And I don't worry about the Zeitler coming in and fitting in at right guard. That's where he's comfortable. Where you got a guy like Graham Glasgow, he can play everywhere. Either three of those, positions, and you probably could kick him out to tackle for a minute, but Okay, Multi Mitch, it's called the Boss Up Ball Out Podcast. You can go over on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter. It's going to be on there, or my Facebook page, Kurt Steele. You can just put that in the search parameters and you'll get my show. But over on YouTube, it's called Boss Up Ball Out Podcast. Or you can, like I said, it's going to be on my X feed this morning and on my Facebook page.
Okay. So now that we're 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away, whatever, from training camp, we've all had an off season to digest what happened last year, see the moves of the off season. What do you think is the most unexpected success story that we're going to have going into training camp for this roster? Like a position or a person you really think is going to supersede expectations? Throwing some questions at you tomorrow.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. For me, who is going to supersede the expectations? I think it's going to be the young special team / running back / do it all. I think Vaki's going to have a surprisingly good season. He's going to make some plays where he's going to stand out. I'm not saying he's going to make the Pro Bowl or anything like that, but I'm thinking he's going to be one of those guys that's going to become a fan favorite really fast for the Detroit Lions this year.
Okay. Now, when it comes to the defense, we get Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, everybody. They've put in a lot of pieces in this offseason trying to make this defense better. How good do you think this defense will end up being by the time we hit the playoffs?
I would say maybe top 12. If everything goes right, about top 12. Well, I think we continue our top 5 in the run defense, and I think we have a vastly improved secondary where and it's all going to work out in conjunction with each other, where you look at it and what the defensive line can do that's to support the back end, where the guys don't have to be locked up in man coverage as long as they were last year. So pass rush, Reader, McNeil, Hutch, whoever's on the other side, either Davenport or Houston, and then you get Jack Campbell. That's the other Jack Campbell, but Jack Campbell in there. Even with no, it's not called Strip and Grits. Broski's a clown, but thanks, Broski. But that's funny. But if you look at it in the totality of it all, you look at this how the scheme is going to work. I think you have the pieces to run Aaron Glenn's scheme the way he wants to.
Right.
I've said this before. The Lions in the first part of this regime, they were getting what they wanted or not who they wanted. But now they're getting players who they want and not just what they want. It's not a particular type of player. They're getting the player that they want.
Question for you. End of the year, Terrion Arnold, Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Very, very close candidate. I think he can compete for that Rookie of the Year this year. If you look at, I think he could put up Sauce Gardner type numbers at his rookie season. And Gardner, and it's not about interceptions, but it's more about his numbers as far as pass completions, pass defended. Pretty much shutting down some of the best receivers in the league.
So there's been a lot of questions going in. Then there will continue to be going into training camp. Hey, Josh Reynolds was a special player for the Detroit Lions as far as what his role was, accepting it, not needing to be St. Brown, not needing to be Laporta, just come in and do his job. People are going to be wondering who's going to replace him and how effectively he will be replaced. If you had to guess, who's stepping into that role and really running with it?
It's Waymo, man. It's got to be Jamo. I mean, that's got to be the number 2 receiver. If you look at the end of the season last year, where when Williams was running some of the same routes as Josh Reynolds, you look at the catch, the touchdown at the end of the NFC Championship game. That was a Josh Reynolds type route where he got that slide in the back of the end zone, making the catch, getting into those spaces that are vacated by a St. Brown or a Laporta, where these guys are running the coverage away from him, and he's fitting in behind those guys. So I think it's going to be Jameson Williams. if you look at, like I said, last year, the end of last year, he was really integral part of people starting to run those routes, those same route trees that Josh Reynolds was running. I just think the writing was on the wall as he was getting more involved in the offense. And then plus, good morning there, Dennis. If you look at that NFC Championship game, that was like, come on, man. You are a veteran. You are a guy. You just stepped up against the Rams for us, and you just went off. He bossed up and balled out in that game, and it was just disappointing for me. And I'm not saying that people make mistakes, but then his attitude about it was kind of nonchalant, and I'm like, that's not going to play well in Detroit, brother. You know,
Right.
I mean, you got to own up to your mistakes, and I can't say that shit doesn't happen because it does. That's what he said. Excuse my language, but that's what he said, and it happens. I mean, things happen, but like, you're a veteran wide receiver, you're a leader in this locker room, and when you're not, you know what I'm saying, in the biggest moments producing, I think that just kind of just forced the Lions hand. They were like, we're not going to pay this guy because he's going to want this amount of money and he can go somewhere else and drop passes.
Right. All right. So just because we're on the topic of that game, the NFC Championship game, your opinion, Josh Reynolds catches that fourth down pass. Detroit Lions are doing what the following week?
Super Bowl, man. It's Super Bowl prep. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Now, I can't say it's a couple plays in there. I can't say that the whole game was that one play or those two plays, but it definitely changed the momentum of that game. And for me, I'm looking at Dan Campbell, and he trusts his guys. He put his trust in you to go out there and make that play, because it's more than just about him being aggressive, but he trusts his guys to go out there and make plays. He believes in you, and when you lose a belief in a player, it's hard to come back from that.
Yeah, it was tough because I want to say there was like 7.5 minutes or something like around there when that drop happens. He catches that. You're probably burning another 2, maybe 3 minutes off the clock, and that's if you don't get a few more first downs. And man, that time, it just starts clicking against the 49ers. You start becoming so much more predictable on offense when they have the ball. Even if the Lions only got a field goal at that point, I think, your goose is cooked if you're the 49ers. But it is what it is. Yep. All right, just a couple more questions. I know you got to get ready for your show, so we'll get you out of here. All right, it's about that time where everybody's going to start doing record predictions, this prediction, that prediction. Jared Goff got a chance for the MVP. Yeah, I reported yesterday, came in over the weekend from the Sands, that a $10 million bet was placed on Jared Goff winning the MVP. What say you to this?
Wow. The season is set up for it. You look at the amount of games we're playing indoors and the amount of games that we're going to play in the cold weather, and that's not that many. And even during during the cold weather, I think the only outdoor game is out on the West Coast, out with the 49ers. So it's built for him to have an MVP type season. Yeah,
I agree with you there. All right, last question for you. Then let you hit the road and get ready for the show. End of the year, you're saying the Lions' record will be what, and where will they be in the seeding for the NFC?
13-4 for the season, and they will be right up there, 1 or 2 for the seedings in the NFC.
All right, we'll go with that. Thank you for your time. Kurt, give everybody one more shout out about your show, your new channel, and yourself.
Yeah, definitely. You can check me out definitely on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. Just type in Boss Up Ball Out when you go into YouTube, and the channel will come up. If you see this logo right there, that's the logo. So if you don't see that logo, that ain't the channel. So go over there, check it out. You can find me over at kurtsteele.com, or you can go check out some of my content over at sidelinereport.com. I do articles periodically over there, giving a different voice to that network. But I'm definitely happy to see you guys. If you follow on X or something like that, at Kurt Steele, at Kurt Steele 14 over on X, or you can go to my Facebook page. It's Kurt Steele 14 over there on Facebook. Wherever you want to watch, we got you covered. You know what I'm saying? So come on over there. It's going to be interactive, and you can tell me if it's bossed up or balled on. So come out and have some fun this morning. I'm going to get off right now and make sure I got my studio set up so we ready to go for the show.
All right, Kurt. Well, good luck. We'll see you on your channel in about 15 minutes. Thank you, as always, for coming on the show. And again, good luck and much success with the new channel.
We're going to have you in a Duke on real soon.
So let me know, man. I'll be on over. So
will do. Hey, see you guys soon.
See you, Kurt. All right, that was Kurt Steele, the infamous one. And don't forget, the Boss Up, Ball Out podcast starts today. Well, it started yesterday, but goes on the air today at 8 a.m. So you got about 14 minutes until kickoff. So go get your morning dew and everything after the show, and get ready to join Kurt and the guys over on the Boss Up, Ball Out podcast. All right, let's keep on going down the comments list from you guys. Bo, let's see, O-line is like a Spartan phalanx. It's not just about the individual. No, yeah, it relies on everybody working together as a collective unit to get the desired result. And yeah, the Spartans probably don't get enough historical recognition for just how difficult that would have been in that day and age to defeat that. All right, moving on from the History Channel back to the two crew. All right, JDC, Walt Marks, keep up and trucking 100%. Yes. Keep on going, Walt, and let us know how you're progressing. I know you got 3 more days of difficult stuff ahead of you, but after that, hopefully it starts getting much easier for you. Let's see, JDC, Dre Forge rocks 100%. Yes, now that I understand that reference, it makes a lot more impact for me. All right, Bo, the season is set up. It really is. I think when it comes to Jared Goff, and hey, I don't know who placed the bet, if it was one individual or a group of individuals. All I know is it was reported that amount of money came in. I'm assuming it's one individual. But I think as you heard Kurt say, and a number of you guys mentioned it yesterday, it really is set up for Jared Goff. Or if you want a quarterback to have a situation where they can put up some pretty good numbers, I think it's for Jared Goff this year. You look at the fact almost all the games are indoor. When you play outdoors, the weather probably isn't going to be too horribly bad. The defense is built and predicated around generating turnovers, not just third down stops. So that means more than likely a lot more opportunities for the offense to put up numbers, yards, etc. Goff, there are naysayers about him like there are about every player in this league. But what we can say, he's played, 8-9 seasons total in the NFL, and he does take care of the ball. He has gotten better, it seems, over every season of his career. He's an accurate quarterback. He might have some aspects of his arm talent that aren't elite, but what is pretty good for him is his play action passing, his intermediate routes. I would say the middle of the field is not bad for him by any stretch. To me, my only knock on him is his deep sidelines, 20, 25, 30 yards deep down the sidelines. He might not be great with that, but a good offensive coordinator is going to protect you from that. Jared Goff, in my opinion, is going to be in the running like he was last year. Let's be fair. Up until you got to about the first Chicago Bears game, broski, and the follow-up just days later against the Green Bay Packers, where they mirrored what the Chicago Bears defense and coaching staff did to try to slow down and confuse Ben Johnson and Goff. Outside of those couple of weeks, I thought he played at a near MVP level. I think potentially this year, with another year of seasoning for Ben Johnson, maybe him being caught off guard by a few less things, Jared Goff just probably continuing to perform at a higher level along with St. Brown, Laporta. Laporta's only going to the year 2. And if he doubles his production out there, or his abilities, I should say, maybe not his numbers, he's just going to be unbelievably tough to stop. Same with Gibbs. Same with Williams. You guys get it. This offense has got some real potential. Hutch Jr., hey, what's happening? Good morning, all. We need to get you back on the show, so maybe send me a text, man, and let me know a day during the week or so, or next week if it works best for you, or the weekend where we can get you back on the show. All right, Bo, that's my logo on my Lions Talk Live hoodie. Yes, if you guys are interested in getting any gear as we prepare for the season, you see that on the screen. Go to lionstalklive.com. You can find all sorts of stuff. You can find clothing, you find mugs, everything above. Jen's done a great job with that. And yes, go ahead and check it out. Let's see, Miles, Dre Forge is great. Yes, he is. And who isn't recruiting that guy? Shane, what do you got? 2 straight hours for my Lions fix. There you go. Dial on in and jump in on it. So go right from your Lions Talk Live over to your Ballers. So go ahead and hop on. See, Broski, Lions record prediction 9-8. Well, clearly, Broski has drank Mellow Yellow instead of Mountain Dew this morning. It happens, man. It happens. Let's see, Don. Let's see, Bears record 5-12. Well, all right, man. We are throwing out some records this morning. I do think the Bears will be pretty decent this year. I think it all is going to come down to how they protect Caleb Williams and his development. If he really does come in and have just a phenomenal rookie season, then they are going to, in my opinion, have an opportunity to kind of contend for the NFC North. If he goes through a lot of rookie pains, if he struggles with teams that are going to probably overload, taking away the first read options on most plays, and he's forced to scramble like he did at USC as much, that's where I think he's going to get into trouble. So we'll wait and see, though. Wait and see. We've got a little bit of time, and they've got time to work with him. See, Moonscar knew that was coming. Yes, you had to know that Broski was going to jump on us. All right, Matthew Zettler, right guard only. Fair enough. We'll see what the Detroit Lions do with him. DM5 TV, how hard is it to get training camp tickets? Anyone know? I don't think it's too hard at all. I mean, there will be more people trying to get in there just because of the success of Lions. It won't be like the early 2000s where, there's no security guards even at the gates because nobody's coming. So just contact Detroit Lions at DetroitLions.com. You put in requests and get the tickets, I would imagine, fairly easy. But you want to be there sooner versus later trying to get those. See, Hutch Jr., what do you got? Broski, they could win their first 5-6 games until they play Houston. Well, laughing out loud, they aren't going 9-8. Fair enough. Let's see, Jason, teams have a bullseye on our back to be sure. Yeah, they'll be coming after us. But you know what? Hey, you want to be the man, you got to beat the man, and everybody's going to be trying to beat the man. We are the man right now. So, hey, let them come after us. See, Doug, what plays will get stolen from our practice squad? What players will get stolen? Let's see who's on the practice squad, and then I can tell you. But I will say this. Anybody who's on our practice squad, Doug, I think you're gonna have multiple teams trying to acquire them. So it would be my anticipation the Lions understand this. So they're probably going to be very specific who they put on there because they all know ultimately they won't be there very long. And see, Miles, I liked how Dre asked the young quarterback, what was your record last year? When the guy hesitated, unsure, Dre says, maybe that's why I'm here. Fair enough. JDC, happy trails. Go Lions victory. 100%. Go have a great morning there, JDC. Dennis, go Lions. All right, fair enough. And good morning to you, as always. See, Doug, what will be the biggest reason we do a lot better in third quarters? Play calling. You want my answer? Play calling. It's not like the players forget how to play during the third quarter. It's what you do to put them in position to succeed. And watching over the season, there's a lot of similarities in my opinion. I would say the vast majority of first downs, like over 65%, were run play calls that the other team anticipated correctly. So to me, if it's me, I'm calling a lot of trickeration plays, catch them off guard, sweeps, jet reverses, things like that, just to try to force the defense to shift around a lot. Hey, roll them dice, get out there and put them on their heels. That's always been my philosophy. Don't be easy to predict. But maybe by being unpredictable, you become predictable. Easy to predict? I don't know. Jason, will you be heading to any preseason games, Dan? Maybe. Let me see what I can do on that. And if I do get one scheduled, I'll let everybody know and come on over. Mike, a.k.a. Hutch Jr., training camp tickets are free to the public. They are. But I get it. I think there's a limit on how many you can get to. So maybe I'm wrong on that. Let's see. Hutch Jr., except a couple events are special. Yeah, to ticket holders. Yes. If you've got season tickets, you get into those events only. I think those are the ones that are a little bit later in the day, kind of like family days and stuff like that. See, Doug, Bears will be better than their last year record. They have a really good potential defense. Yeah, and I think where they could potentially give the Lions some fits is that defensive front. And to be fair, the secondary is pretty good. I'm just hoping or anticipating that Ben Johnson is going to do a little bit better job with the play calling. He was caught off guard last year, in my opinion, that first game at Ford Field. He made some adjustments, but then got caught off guard again, and you could see it in the play calling and the play results, at least the way I view it. See, Hutch Jr., which I go to so I don't have to fight with the public. Yes, yeah, I mean, I get you go to the home games. You are a season ticket holder, so you have a little bit inside track on that stuff. See, Patrick, all the Bears' success will be at the latter part of the season. I agree with the record for the Bears, 5-12. All right, we'll go with that. That will be Wynn Williams will be begging to catch up with the speed of the game. Yeah, he'll start off probably a little slow, caught off guard with things. Defenses, especially veteran defenses, will probably have some advantages over him. But give him time, and probably about the middle of the season, like you say, Patrick, he'll start finding his tune. Obviously, I hope he doesn't do that against the Lions, but that would be my anticipation. I'd say, Broski, oh yeah, the Lions are just so elite teams. Will be lining up for their practice squad players, laughing out loud. Finally, a playoff game, and you guys think you're elite. I don't think it has anything to do with a playoff game, Broski. I just think if you look over the Lions team, they're pretty deep, especially in a couple of key areas where when those guys get cut, I think you'll see a lot of those players get picked up by some of the lower echelon teams in the NFL who, let's be honest, if you're one of the lower echelon teams, that's probably a sign you do not have great talent across the board. So they'll be looking to augment some of that talent. At least that's my guess. All right, Hutch Jr., get a 4K passer, then you can talk about football. Okay, that's it. Yeah, it's been a while since they've had one, if ever. Let's see, Broski, Doug Rosen, they sure do. All right, Don. Oh, Caleb Williams is so elite. Will all of a sudden take the Bears team, who's had one successful season in 11 years, to the NFC Championship game? Okay, there will be a lot of questions and a lot of pressure on Caleb Williams for sure. DM5 TV, hoping our defense will be significantly better, create more turnovers and opportunities for the offense. Go Lions. Woo! Yes, and I think they will. I think they're going to come out and they're going to be vastly more aggressive. And they, to be fair, they were last year towards the last, month, 2 months of the season. But you got to have guys in that secondary who can clean up and make plays. And you do need to be able to get to the quarterback. If you're going to leave guys on an island, you can't leave them on there on an island for 4, 5, 6, 8 seconds. So all those points will come into play. See, Patrick Broski Bear, you are killing me. I about spit my coffee all over the place with your comments. You're Ralph. Yeah, there we go. All right, guys, I'm going to go and wrap up the show. It's been a great one, as always. Good to have everybody in the show. If there is breaking news today, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Making that push. Like I said, we got about 10 more subs to go. David, let's go, Lions. Woo! Yeah, we need about 10 more subs to hit 6,800. If you would also take a free moment of time, there's about 300 people watching. Hit that thumbs up button. If we got everybody to do that, hey, we'd hit our goal of 200 to 300 thumbs up for the day. So hopefully y'all can help out with that. Take care. Enjoy your day. And we'll see you all on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trails to you until